All right. 7 boring but high paying remote jobs. No degree 2020.
So let me ask you something. Would you rather have an exciting job that pays you peanuts or a boring job that pays you enough to actually live your life? Well,
I I would like a job that, you know, I'm comfortable with, has good benefits, and I know that I don't have to worry about every day and I won't dread going to.
today I'm going to show you 7 boring but high paying remote jobs that don't require a degree but can easily pay 60, 80, or even over $100,000 per year. And the reality is sometimes the most financially rewarding jobs aren't the most thrilling. But the thing is,
Yeah,
these
that's true.
boring jobs give you the freedom to pursue what you're actually passionate about outside of work. And that's the ultimate life hack that most people miss, right? Do you think the garbage man is passionate about their job? Probably not, but they are a valuable member of society. And so the
They
truth
also
is,
do make a
not
lot of money.
everyone can be super passionate about their job.
Garbage guys do actually make a pretty good amount of money.
It's not going to always be super fun. Now, before we dive in, I want to clarify what I mean by boring. These are jobs that might involve repetitive tasks, long periods sitting at a computer, or working with data rather than people. And these are not necessarily bad jobs, they're just not going to give you an adrenaline rush. But what they will give you is the ability to work from anywhere, financial stability without a degree, and time and energy left over to build the life that you actually want. And while everyone else is following their passion, trying to go for these super passionate jobs, you can be quietly crushing it by going for the jobs that have way less competition. Now, another thing I want to quickly bring up before we get into the first job is that this video is not going to teach you how to land the job, right? I'm going to give you some really good options, but if you want to know how to land the job, I've actually created a 30-day remote job landing challenge with daily actions to help you secure these exact positions. And each day gives you a specific task, from crafting the perfect remote focused resume to mastering virtual interviews. So you can grab that through the link in the description and the pinned comment below if you want to know how to actually land one of these jobs. All right, so first one is a marketing automation administrator. Now, what makes this job boring? Well, you'll be spending your days building email campaigns, managing contact lists, running A/B tests, and staring at performance metrics basically all day long. So it's not exactly as fun as playing video games for 8 hours in a row. But here's the exciting part. Marketing automation administrators are making between $53,000 and $89,000 a year, with a median income of around $68,000 according to Glassdoor. And you only need 1 to 3 years of experience with marketing automation platforms such as Pardot or HubSpot. Now, if you're about to click off right now, Shane, I don't have 1 to 3 years of experience, the 30-day guide will teach you how you can get that experience without actually technically having any, because you don't need a marketing degree, you just need the skills. And I recently saw a job posting from Parsec offering 80 to 85,000 plus performance bonuses for this exact role. And it's fully remote, and it only requires basic familiarity with Salesforce and experience with marketing automation. Now, this is just one example, but there's a lot more out there. And you don't have to be some copywriting genius to do this. Most of the time, the copywriting is already taken care of for you. You're just setting up the automations, right? So you're just making sure that things happen automatically, which can be dead boring, but still very valuable. All right, next one is going to be an e-commerce customer support specialist. And this job involves answering the same customer questions day after day. You'll be handling order issues, processing returns, and explaining policies over and over again. Pretty monotonous, right? But e-commerce support specialists are making between $55,000 and $84,000 a year, with a median of $68,000. Why? Because in a market that's as commoditized as e-commerce, which is basically where you're selling physical products online, and oftentimes you are literally selling the exact same physical product as everyone else, just with your brand on it.
Corporate needs you to find the differences between this picture and this picture. They're the same picture.
One of the only ways to set yourself apart is by having exceptional customer service. And I think this is a trend that's happened in e-commerce.
Oh God, customer service. I hated dealing with people when I worked in retail. Oh my God. People are so fucking stupid. But I don't think I could ever work in customer service because I just don't like people. I don't want to deal with those kind of people on the daily. I think I would just go mentally insane.
commerce and physical products, but it's going to start happening in basically every market out there. And the reason is because I think that AI is going to automate a lot of tasks. But one thing that AI can never automate is having exceptional customer service. Now, this is one thing that I got very good at because I worked in retail for a long period of time. I used to be a pharmacist, and before that, I was a pharmacy tech, and I worked in retail. And as you can imagine, a lot of Americans are pretty mad at the healthcare system. And the last person they see, usually after they've been through the healthcare system, is unfortunately the pharmacist or the pharmacy tech. And so by the time they get to us, they are already extremely pissed. And rightfully so. Healthcare in the United States is an absolute mess. So my job half the time working in pharmacy was to patiently and empathetically explain how messed up the healthcare system is to them and how it's not their fault, but it's also not the pharmacy's fault as well. And so having exceptional customer support is not only a valuable skill to learn, but I think it's completely AI proof. And the best part here is the barrier to entry is incredibly low. Most positions only require a high school diploma and basic customer service experience. And they care far more about a positive attitude and being reliable and consistent than a college degree or even previous experience. And the skills are honestly really easy to learn, and companies are willing to train the right person. And if you think about it, there's actually a lot of advantages to working in this position because nobody's going to know the customers better than the people who are directly talking to them. So if you do a really good job in customer service, you can really impact the rest of the company as well. Now, I found a remote position at a company called GCG, and it pays around $21 to $22 per hour to start, which is over $43,000 a year. But specialists with just 2 to 3 years of experience are making $60,000 to even $70,000 at companies like Frontline Wildfire Defense. So your daily tasks would include responding to customer inquiries via email, phone, and chat, processing orders and handling returns, troubleshooting basic technical issues, and maintaining customer records. So as boring as these customer service roles are, and they definitely are boring and monotonous, plus you might get yelled at by some Karens, it is a super easy way to get your foot in the door and start working remote. Then you could probably go into other positions within the company if you do a good job. You could learn other skills on top of your customer service experience and get into even better positions in other companies, or you could just keep doing the position and just get into higher paying roles, which in my opinion are going to be AI proof. All right, so job number 3 is a provider data coordinator. And this might be the definition of boring. You'll be updating healthcare provider information in databases, verifying credentials, and generating compliance reports. Mind-numbing stuff for most people, right? This would be something that Kevin from The Office would be doing. But provider data coordinators make $47,000 to $67,000 a year, with potential to earn much more as you gain experience in healthcare data management. And again, you don't need a degree, just a high school diploma and typically 1 year of experience with data administration. And again, you can make that experience if you just click the link in the description in the pinned comment below and do the 30-day challenge. Now, what's great about this role is that it's a foot in the door to higher paying healthcare administrative positions. And as a provider data coordinator at Centene, you'd start off making $19 to $32 per hour. Both 2 to 3 years of experience, you can easily move up to positions paying $60,000 to $70,000 annually. Now, one thing that I'll say very quickly about these types of positions is I highly recommend getting a walking desk. All right, obviously check with your doctor and stuff like that, but walking is one of the most healthy habits you can possibly have. I recently got a walking desk, and it's amazing when I'm taking calls during the evening or if I just have calls that I have to take, and I'm able to easily get my 10,000 steps in every day. And I think especially for really boring jobs, having a walking desk is an absolute game changer because you get all the exercise that you need while you're working the job. And the health benefits of walking are insane. And by the way, drop a comment below if you've used walking desks before. I'm surprised that more people don't do this. So yeah, anyways, that was kind of a side tangent, but back to your responsibilities. You'd basically be creating and maintaining provider databases, generating reports for compliance monitoring, updating Medicare and Medicaid attachments, and providing statistical data to other departments. All right, so the next one is a customer support technical specialist. Now, this is a little bit different than regular customer support, which can be draining. Technical support is often even more repetitive. You're literally going to be walking people through the same troubleshooting steps all day. Like, we have an IT guy on our team, and the other day, some type of tech wasn't working, and I actually forgot to turn it on and off again. And so he had to literally say, "Did you try turning it on and off again?" Right? It was just like the meme.
Hello, IT? Have you tried turning it off and on again?
But this is the kind of stuff you're going to be doing all day, right? You have to explain how to reset passwords, update software, ask people if they turn it on and off again, etc. And it's really basic if you even have a little bit of technical acumen, right? If you're just a little bit tech savvy, this is super basic stuff. And usually you're just doing the same software or computer systems over and over again, so you get used to it very quickly. But technical support specialists are bringing in $55,000 to $80,000 a year, with senior specialists earning well into the 6 figures. And companies like Orderdesk are offering offering $55,000 to $58,000 per year for remote positions with only basic technical knowledge required. And as you specialize in certain software industries, your earning potential absolutely skyrockets. Now, the daily grind includes troubleshooting technical issues for customers, creating and updating help documentation, escalating complex problems to engineering teams, and tracking recurring issues and suggesting improvements. And like I said, you may be working with people on your team, or you might be working with customers depending on the position. And what makes this job particularly valuable is that while it doesn't require a degree, the technical skills that you can gain lead to even higher paying IT roles down the line. And the one cert that I think is absolutely amazing is the Google IT Support Professional Certificate. And this is how you can fast track your way into technical support roles. And I partnered with Coursera for an IT course to help you get exactly what you need to know to qualify for entry-level support positions. And some of these can pay over $55,000 a year and more, even at the entry level. So check out my special link in the description and the pinned comment below. All right, next is Facebook Ads Specialist.
Oh
now,
my
this might
God.
sound exciting, but temper your expectations a little bit. The day-to-day work can be extremely monotonous. You'll be constantly tweaking ad copy, adjusting bids, and staring at performance metrics for hours on end. But Facebook Ad Specialists are making anywhere from $75,000 to $100,000
A Facebook ad specialist. Facebook. Oh, God.
per year, with additional performance bonuses based on results. And Golden Hippo, for example, offers remote positions with a base salary range from $75,000 to $101,000 plus bonuses. And the craziest part is you only need a high school diploma and experience with Facebook Ad Manager. And your repetitive daily tasks would include setting up and monitoring ad campaigns, A/B testing different ad creatives and audiences, analyzing performance metrics and making adjustments, and scaling successful campaigns while maintaining ROI. And the boring part of this job is the constant data analysis and incremental optimization, but the payoff is absolutely worth it. Now, by the way, if some of these jobs sound great, but they're just not the right fit for you, go ahead and share this video with another person who you think might be a good fit for the job. So yeah, Facebook ads, I mean, companies are spending billions and billions of dollars a year on Facebook ads. Someone needs to optimize and monitor them and keep track of things. Might as well be you. Now, to be fair, sometimes down the line, you could get into a role that's much more creative. You could be creating what's known as the ad creative on Facebook ads, which is the pictures or the videos, as well as the copy that you're actually putting on the ads. But usually when you start off, you're just gonna be monitoring and tweaking things. All right, next is B2B digital marketing sales. Now, this one, in my opinion, is a little bit different type of boring because it is unbelievably repetitive, right? You're gonna be cold calling and following up with leads day after day, and it can be absolutely mind-numbing. Now, this might sound like a nightmare to some people out there, right? If you're super introverted and you're just not the type of person to cold call people, then probably don't wanna do this.
I don't think I would ever be able to cold call somebody. Just like calling random people that I don't know just for my job. I don't think I'd be able to do that. I barely call my own parents. Even my own brother. The only time I call them is if I need to ask them a question, or I'll just text them. Hell, the only thing I really call at all the most is when I've ever called in sick to work. And that was just a machine.
This one. However, if you are the type of person who does like talking to other people, then this is still really boring, but it can be incredibly lucrative, right? Because you're going to have the same conversations repeatedly, you're going to be explaining the same services, and you're going to be dealing with the constant rejection that comes along with this type of position. But B2B digital marketing sales reps are earning between $76,000 and $142,000 a year, according to Glassdoor, with a median income of about $102,000 when you include commissions. Now, I found a remote position at Forever Agency Group offering $60,000 to $120,000 per year with only a high school diploma required. And the earning potential is directly tied to your performance, which means the sky's the limit. Now, your monotonous daily routine would involve conducting sales presentations to potential clients, following up on leads through email and phone. And by the way, a lot of people say that the money is in the follow-up, right? So the first time you contact someone, they're probably going to ignore you or not buy. And a lot of the time, it's going to be 5, even 10 times down the line that they'll actually buy your stuff. Also, building relationships with business customers and tracking sales activities and updating the CRM. Now, what makes this boring job so lucrative is the commission structure. The more you sell, the more you can earn, regardless of your educational background. So yeah, this one's a little out there. Like for a lot of people, this one kind of might be too exhilarating, but for the right type of person, if you're okay with talking to people and reaching out to people all the time, this is probably gonna be pretty boring and lucrative. All right, so next is marketing analytics specialist. And this job involves spending hours every day looking at spreadsheets, creating reports, and analyzing marketing performance data. And for most people, this is the definition of boring work. But marketing analytics specialists earn between $65,000 and $95,000 $100,000 a year, with senior analysts making well over $100,000. And the beauty of this role is that while it sounds technical, you can learn the necessary skills through free or low-cost online courses. And there's a lot of certificates and courses and stuff like that that we recommend. And we actually have a list of all of them, which we'll put down in the description and the pinned comment below, where you can find really good recommendations for the ones that we list in this video. And many of them are either free or extremely low cost. And your daily tasks would include collecting and analyzing marketing performance data, creating regular reporting for marketing teams, identifying trends and making recommendations, and setting up and maintaining data tracking systems. And companies value this role highly because data-driven decisions directly impact their bottom line, making it a stable and well-compensated position, even without a traditional degree. Now, here's the truth. There's nothing wrong with having a boring job that pays well. And most successful people I know separated their income from their passion, especially at first. What they focused on is being valuable, right? Solving other people's problems first. And then once they'd established that value that they have, then they start slowly transitioning to focusing on their passion. And they use their boring, high-paying job and skills to fund the lifestyle that they want and the projects that they're passionate about. That's true freedom. And remember, your job doesn't have to be your identity or passion. It can simply be the thing that funds your actual passions on the side. Now, if you found this video helpful, check out 15 boring but realistic work from home jobs that are almost always hiring by clicking right here.
God, I don't, all those jobs, I don't think I'd be able to do at all. I would be a horrible choice. Personally, as much as I would like to, like do something like this that I'm doing right now for a living, which I know probably would never actually happen, I like physical manual labor type jobs. That's why I work factory jobs. I don't want to do restaurant jobs or retail jobs. It's not for me.